you is good for you. Not everyone that you can have good moments with is not good to be in your life for the rest of your life. So in transition, somebody say transition. We have to be aware of what is being offered to us, and we got to make sure that we don't neglect the manna that will sustain us for the false things that we think will fulfill us. Amen? Now, from Old Testament, New Testament, we see humanity's hunger and thirst often got in the way of God's will. Just think about it. Adam and Eve, they got allured out of God's best through the temptation of fruit. Jacob and Esau, he sold his birthright for food. The children of Israel, they wanted Egypt's food instead of manna that was to transition them to the promised land. All throughout scriptures, God uses food, he uses water, he uses well, he uses light as a metaphor to point to who he is. If you think about it, science says that there are 4 basic needs of every human, every person. The basic needs are water, the basic needs is food, basic needs is air, and the basic need is light. And notice that we all need water, we all need food, we all need air, and we all need light. And Jesus says to us that I am the breath of life. I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. So Jesus makes claims that in the same way we need these physical needs, we also need him for our spiritual and emotional needs. Jesus. That is the deception. And what Satan is offering all the time is self-sufficiency. A life independent of God. Just think about it in Genesis 3, when he talked to the woman and he said, this is a tree to make one wise, this is a fruit to make one wise. It was desirable to eat. He also said that, you'll be wise like God. What he was trying to do is offer self-sufficiency. In other words, you can be on the same level as God. I don't like when people are like, what's up, God? No, I'm not God. I'm a child of God, but I'm not God. In the world that we're living in, they point to themselves as the higher power, but the true higher power is the Most High God through Jesus Christ. We are not gods. We are not sufficient of our own self. In fact, Proverbs says, death and hell are never satisfied, so the desires of men are never satisfied. And we also see in the Bible that God has no beginning and God has no ending. So if our hearts is never satisfied and God is never ending, it's going to take a never-ending God to fulfill a heart that is never satisfied. Oh, Jesus, y'all missed the moment to say amen. So again, can you embrace eating something you don't like for a season? Can you embrace self-control? Can you embrace not always having to go out? Can you embrace putting down things that are liberties, but not all liberties are bringing you freedom, right? And we have the liberty to do a lot of things, but the question you have to ask yourself, as I ask myself in my seasons of being a young adult, and still ask myself now, just because I have the freedom to do it, although I have the freedom to do it, let me say it this way, does it bring me freedom in return? Yeah, you got the freedom to do a lot of things, but is that freedom bringing you more freedom? Or is it taking away freedom? Now, I thought this was interesting. Samson was anointed to kill Philistines, but he had a thirst for Philistine women.